So, if you've ever looked around at all our rapid technological advancement and felt like, I don't know, maybe we're somehow missing a deeper spiritual core, you definitely aren't alone. Today's explainer unpacks a highly provocative text about humanity's spiritual trajectory. It's a framework that literally challenges the very foundation of what we consider to be progress.
To kick things off, we really need to ask a heavy question that sits right at the heart of today's source material, and that is, are modern materialistic values actually causing humanity to devolve? Because, we usually equate progress with things like better technology or longer lifespans, but this text asks us to pause and consider if, by focusing strictly on the material world, we are actually sliding backward as a species. Crazy thought, right?
Well, this striking question stems directly from Chapter 5 of our source text, which is titled, Now is the Time for Salvation. This chapter acts as a massive wake-up call. It's entirely dedicated to the survival and prosperity of future humanity, outlining a spiritual paradigm shift that the author deems absolutely necessary to prevent a global crisis of values.
Okay, Part 1, Time for Salvation, a Spiritual Paradigm.
The text anchors its urgent message in a huge milestone, the 30th anniversary of what it calls the Great Enlightenment. But listen, this isn't just some retrospective celebration. It's presented as a crucial catalyst. It's an aggressive reminder for humanity to believe in a sublime existence. Basically, it's a call to recognize a reality and a truth that exists far, far beyond our immediate physical day-to-day world.
Which brings us to Part 2, Danger of Materialism, the Crisis Today.
Here, the author identifies a really stark contrast between cold, modern common sense and the true essence of humanity, what they call the brilliance of the soul. Think about it. What we casually accept today as common sense, the relentless pursuit of wealth, purely scientific reasoning, worldly status, is, according to the text, fundamentally at odds with recognizing our sublime existence. By overly indexing on the physical, the author suggests we're literally starving the very thing that makes us human.
And the author absolutely does not mince words here. Quote, losing the brilliance of the soul is a regression for humanity, end quote. They aren't just saying materialism is a minor distraction. No, they are asserting it is a literal devolution. Like no matter how many scientific breakthroughs we achieve, if we lose that soul-level brilliance, we are actively taking a step backward in our evolution. To impartially illustrate the limits of modern common sense, the text applies the spiritual lens directly to politics. The argument basically goes like this. Without a foundational spiritual truth, massive democracies risk descending into pure confusion, just absorbing millions of unguided opinions. But on the flip side, military dictatorships or one-party systems are equally flawed. Why? Well, because they strip away divine dignity. They wrongly deny that humans are inherently free. So, in this view, neither secular extreme really works.
Moving on to Part 3, Integrating the Past, a Unifying Solution.
To actually overcome this turbulent period, the text argues we have to integrate the contradictions found in past religions and philosophies. The author points out that world religions taught thousands of years ago are struggling to function in modern society. They just haven't been able to fully save the minds of people today. So the goal isn't to just pick one ancient system over another. It's to synthesize their core truths into a cohesive whole for the modern era.
Part 4. The Universal Truth, Uniting a Divided World.
All right, the text lays out a clear three-part roadmap for future prosperity. First up, maintain belief in a sublime existence beyond the physical realm. Second, actively refuse to be swayed by modern materialistic common sense. You literally have to have the courage to push back. And third, integrate past philosophies through a singular, universal truth. By doing this whole shebang, the text argues, humanity can finally transcend differences in race, language, and ideology and truly unite.
Finally, Part 5, Paving the Future, the Ultimate Goal.
The source points out a staggering reality. Earth's population is rapidly expanding toward 10 billion people. 10 billion! Think of it like a giant, unmoderated group chat. Without a shared spiritual foundation, the sheer volume of conflicting thoughts, ideologies, and material desires is just a recipe for chaos. The author emphasizes that a population of this scale, if it's relying solely on materialistic common sense, will inevitably lead to systemic collapse.
And this right here reveals the true vastness of the author's vision. We aren't just trying to patch up today's immediate political or social problems. No, the text calls for us to courageously lay the groundwork day by day, for a trajectory that spans 500, 1,000, or even 3,000 years into the future. The ultimate goal is to set a definitive direction right now that ensures the long-term survival, spiritual elevation, and true happiness of billions of humans across millennia.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a vital question drawn straight from the text to reflect on. How will you avoid being swayed by modern common sense, and what spiritual groundwork will you lay today? It's a really profound challenge. It asks us to look beyond our immediate material needs and seriously consider our lasting legacy for the generations to come. Thanks for joining me as we explored these deeply thought-provoking concepts. Catch you next time.